Tonight it's up in the leaves. Well, this one holds a special place in our heart, and you'll know why in a minute.
Instead of up in the leaves, it's on the trees. Up in the leaves.
This is the true story of the Central Park tree houses by Shira Abbas and illustrated by Jamie Kristoff. Just kind of like a little bit connected to him, my little brother. Anyway, he's an amazing illustrator, and this is one of our favorite books. He actually signed it for Liam and Helena. Climb high, little ones. You two are our future. Love, Uncle Jamie. Bob lived in the big city. The city was very crowded. It was crowded with buildings stacked side by side. It was crowded with strangers packed onto trains. It was crowded with trucks honking their horns. Bob didn't like all that rushing around, the eyes of so many people, all those feet on the ground. He climbed up lampposts. He snuck onto his building's roof. He scaled the walls of the castle in the park. At school, the hallways were narrow, the ceilings were low, the desks were cramped. The bell rang, and Bob dashed to Central Park. The park was cool. It was green and calm. People walked slowly or sat on the ground. Trees waved their branches in the air, inviting him to come up.
It's kind of like the giving tree.
A little happier, but yeah.
The disgustingest tree.
Well, not to drink, right? He lifted himself onto a tree limb. He pulled up to another and then to the next. And the bark made a path. The leaves made a hideaway. Up and down and up. He explored the trees, the fluffy pink cherry tree, the sticky pokey pine. He slipped through the door of a wide beech. He stepped up the staircase of a tall oak. Each tree was its own world, every limb an adventure. He could see buildings and people down below, so small, but nobody could see him. This was his own secret spot. Bob scavenged wood and rope from dumpsters. Tap, 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 he hammered. Whoosh, 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 he sawed. Loop, 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 he nodded. Every day after school, Bob's treehouse was waiting. He hugged the tree's trunk and scampered straight up. The city roar, clang, bang, it fell away. And he read books in the hush and shared peanuts with the squirrels. He listened to the whir of a dragonfly, the creaking of wood, the flapping of birds. One day, his treehouse was gone. The squirrels had their nest, the bird had their roost, but the little boy no longer had a place of his own. Bob started all over. Tap, tap, whoosh, whoosh, loop, loop. His new treehouse was even bigger and better hidden. When rain pelted down and wind bent the branches, Bob's treehouse rocked and swayed. He was a sailor on a ship at sea. But fall came, the leaves fell, the treehouse was no longer a secret. Again, it was taken away. He no longer had a ship in the sky. There was nothing to do except try again. Up went the platform, up went the walls, up went milk crates for tables and chairs, and he let down a rope and up went some friends. Bob was getting better and better at this.
I like the last page when I get a bunch of rooms.
Yes, definitely my favorite too. Bob stayed after sunset and mapped twinkling stars. He even spotted planets. He became an astronaut, navigating the cosmos. The seasons went on, and so did the tree houses. Each one was taken down, but Bob kept building. Bob's mother worried. "You'll be grown up soon. You can't stay up in trees." She wanted him to go to work, like everyone else. But that wasn't for him. Shoulder to shoulder downtown, the traffic, the concrete, the air thick with smog. Here it is, right?
Oh la la.
Ooh la la. Instead, he built the biggest treehouse of all.
I like this one the best because it kind of looks like a house.
5 levels and a bridge. Bob was very proud. I like this, but that it has that swinging rope that goes over to this platform. But this is pretty cool too.
Yeah. But then I know about this. What if the wind comes and you swing around? Maybe you fall.
Oh, you're heavy, so you kind of weigh the swinging rope down. He loved drifting to sleep. Let's try again. He loved drifting to sleep, snuggled under the canopy of leaves. One morning, Bob woke up and heard voices far below. "We know you're up there," they yelled. "Calm down." Oh, look at his face. He sadly descended like a fluttering leaf. His adventure was over. He was stuck on the ground. But then something lucky. The man in charge of the park watched Bob come down. He climbed like a squirrel, sure-footed and at ease. "Come work in the park," the man said to Bob, "and take care of the trees." "A job in the trees? I would love to work here," Bob said. Every day, Bob walked to work in the park. With his new ropes and saddle, he could climb any tree, even the biggest.
Whoa, that's cool.
He swung all the
Kinda
branches.
like a rock wall.
Yeah.
Remember at the German festival and there's a rock wall and I tried to climb the rope but it didn't work.
Was it from this book you were thinking?
Yeah.
He swung all over branches, up and across, from limb to limb, and he snipped and sawed, and he kept the trees healthy. And he stuck to his promise not to build any more tree houses in the park.
You should though.
But sometimes at night, he slipped out of bed and he walked softly through the city back to his tree. And this is a true story about a man named Bob Redman. And he built 12 tree houses in New York City Central Park from the time he was 13 until he was 21. It's pretty cool. He eventually, look at that, he eventually ended up working in the park, taking care of the trees. So that's a happy story about something kind of bad happening to you and turning it into something awesome. And again, it was illustrated by my brother, my little brother, who I'm so proud of. Have a good night.